Hey everybody, welcome back to WrestlePop. On the newest installment of Vice's Dark Side of the Ring, Jim Ross was asked about Chris Benoit being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
That's right, guys, and he was asked about it, and he said, absolutely not. This guy does not deserve to be in it, simply because of the fact that, like, what he had done with his wife and his kid, and it would kind of be a distraction, right? Because when you hear that he's going to go into the Hall of Fame, what are you going to be thinking about? Is it about his wrestling career?
No.
I think the average fan, no, not really. Maybe like the really hardcore fans, they know like how talented of a guy he was, right? You probably followed him in Japan, in Canada, and WCW, then WWE. But for most fans, they think of the guy who just one day out of the blue strangled his wife and his kid, and then he killed himself.
And he even went so far as to say that if Chris was here today and you could ask him, he would say the same thing.
Which is true. Also, in the Dark Side of the Ring, Chris Jericho said the only thing that Benoit was ever passionate about was wrestling, and that if he knew that because of his actions, wrestling almost was like basically destroyed, because he almost did bring wrestling down. Because I remember when all that went down, at the time I was working at night, so I wasn't watching wrestling as much. And then when I heard this, it was everywhere. All the news channels was covering it, and it was really a lot of heat on wrestling. And I was wondering, man, how's Vince gonna like actually be able to ride through this, right? And it seemed they were gonna investigate him like they did in the 90s and possibly try to get him going to prison. So yeah, even for me as a fan of Benoit, I think he was a great wrestler. I really loved his work in WCW. I just don't think he belongs, man, because it's just going to create a lot of heat with the media. It's going to bring back something that the wrestling community wants to kind of forget, right? Because you want to, the WWE and AEW has done a really great job of giving like a more positive image of wrestling, right? Like this Benoit thing is going to be really a tragedy that no one wants to really talk about again. Because you know the media will like jump on it and kind of like bring back old stereotypes of wrestling.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think that he belongs. I think that it's just something that shouldn't be dredged up, because by giving him the status of being in the Hall of Fame, you know, it's saying that, yeah, he did great things, but I feel like the bad that he did in life far outweighs the good. So we shouldn't give him any sort of platform.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a tragedy about all of this is that he's kind of connected with Eddie Guerrero, right? And it kind of, in a way, kind of hurts Eddie's legacy, because it's, you know, when you bring up Eddie, you're gonna have to bring up Benoit, and it's kind of a touchy subject. That's like the real sad part about all of this, in my opinion. But I agree, he shouldn't belong in the Hall of Fame. What do you guys think? Do you think he should, or possibly? Let me ask you another question. Forget the WWE Hall of Fame, right? There's a couple other Hall of Fames out there. Do you think he should belong in those, since they're like not as prominent? And I'd love to get your thoughts on all this. Let us know in the comment section. And if you haven't done so already,
make sure to click that subscribe button, give us a like, click that notification bell, and share this video with all of your friends and family who love wrestling as much as you do. Bye!